Welcome back to another episode of MotoGP Mac, and today we're going to do the teammate review for the Ducati factory team for 2023. And if I'm honest, this is probably one of the most exciting teammate combinations on the grid, because this can go either way very, very quickly. So firstly, we're going to start off with Pekko Bagnaia, and it is great to see that he is wearing the number one badge on his bike. For me, wearing number one is an honor, and while I don't mind riders choose not to do it, it's just great to see it out there. But Pekko is, the man to beat, certainly within the championship, and I know there's people going to say that's wrong, but he is the world champion. And the first thing that any rider on the grid wants to do this year is to dethrone the champion. So he has the biggest target on his back, because every single rider on the grid wants to dethrone him. He is also Ducati's favourite son. He's the one that ended the drought, and last year he really struggled at the start of the season. The first half of the season, let's just call it was bad. He crashed more than a rookie, so it is going to be definitely interesting to see how winning the championship has affected Pekko's, I suppose, maturity on the bike, settling for points, not pushing past where he is. And I think, when we looked at him in Valencia, yes, he was riding very, very tight, but he knew what he had to do. And the previous Pekko probably would have just gone for it and messed it up. But I thought, like as anyone would, if you're on the cusp of achieving your ultimate goal that you set out in life, of course you're going to ride tight, of course you're going to be nervous. And he got through it, and I think this could empower Pekko to become even stronger. And if you saw, and you did see in his second half of the season, he went on a run there and he looked absolutely alien. He was able, I think it was 4 or 5 wins on the bounce and a second place. He quashed that gap really quickly to Fabio. And I think that's going to give him an awful lot of confidence. Now, you have probably, in my view, one of the riders that is of the generation, or of the next generation, that is going to be quite big. Bastianini, he is not 100% consistent yet. He's not fast on every track. If it rains, he's not really into it, but what he does have is that drive, and it is that drive to say, no, I want this, I'm going to go for it. And it's definitely more visible in Bastianini than of any other rider, I would think. You can just see there and just look at him and say, he will chop your head off to win that race. There's no friends, this is just racing. He has said, that he respects Pekko and that he hopes that they can build a great relationship together, but the helmet goes on, friendships are out the window, team orders look, they don't really exist with Bastianini. He wants what he wants. He is a great manager as well, to put the team into a position to force a decision out of them. And if they don't agree, the rider is free to do what he wants. And I think he had some very, very good races. He shocked the world when he started to win on the Ducati, especially on the Gresini, because Gresini had never run a Ducati before. Now, his engineer was Andrea Dovizioso's engineer, so he was very used to a Ducati, but he's now gone as well, I think, to KTM. So, there's a feeling out process, I think, still for Bastianini within a factory team. How will he deal with the factory pressure? This is also something that I haven't really explored much. Whether it will, or whether he will take any notice of it, I don't know. I think he will, though, because he has been so inconsistent in races. He's not always been at the pointy end of the grid. He is amazing with tire life. Sprint races aren't really going to suit him, so there is a lot of battling there, I think, if I'm very honest, for Bastianini to do. Definitely needs to think a little bit about where he's going to be within this team. I don't think he's going to roll over and die, so I think, you know, if the championship becomes a 2-horse race between them, I can very quickly see a wall going up in the garage, just like the Lorenzo and Rossi wall, if I'm very honest. Now, I don't think it's going to start off like that, you know, I don't think he's aiming anything to do like that, but I just think it's probably one of those teammate combinations that could deteriorate very quickly. Now, as always, to pick a winner between the teammates, this one is very, very close to call. For me, I think it's going to be very, very close. I think, though, Pekko still has that little bit of edge, becoming world champion. I think we are going to see a different Pekko come out next year, more how I would call sensible. Ducati also won't make any rash decisions with changing engines just before the start of the season, so I would expect Pekko to be there or thereabouts from the start, leading the championship. Towards the end, I don't know, but I think Pekko will have the slight edge over Bastianini definitely in year one in the factory team. But I would definitely love to know your thoughts. Which teammate do you think is going to come out on top? And also, what do you think of Pekko wearing the number 1 plate? Definitely leave your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another video.